deserve the best. And this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer's satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Lynn Leighton Ford, located online at lynnleightonford.com. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
A good Monday evening to you. Welcome into The Drive. I need a minute. Hang on.
You've been at it today.
Been a long day.
A good day.
A very eventful day. A big thank you to the fine folks at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, allowing us to feature 17 Madison County schools, including Madison County High School.
And thanks to the folks at Toyota Field, too, for letting us host it.
Absolutely.
The SportsMed, what are we calling that?
It is the SportsMed Lounge.
It's very nice. And
we did take some lights out in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the production team has been going and reallocating assets here, making media days work for all of us here.
Jerry Glanville is set to join us in 15 minutes' time.
Nice.
And I also, you know what? Listen, maybe one of the biggest assists goes to Talent Heating and Air. Our air conditioner unit decided to go on vacation over the weekend. And sure enough, the fine folks at Talent Heating Air, by the way, I needed a new central heating unit.
Right.
I called Talent Heating and Air.
Yep.
And so they did the duct work, they did the full system, and they were very easy to work with. I got it back in late May. I want to say that was late May.
Yeah.
So right before all the wonderfulness of this. By the way, step outside and feel like you're taking a shower. Sometimes
it's like the inside of a dog's mouth.
Sometimes it's literally a shower because of the off and on rain. Anyway.
Hey, guys, if you want some peace of mind, totally worth it. Get with Talent and get their annual checkup.
I've got that.
And get them to look at that. and just kind of get everything a look over.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I like about Talent, they'll give you a straight answer.
Yeah.
And if you don't need something, they'll go, okay, this is good. This is what you need. This is what you can kind of wait on.
Yeah.
And but give you an idea so you don't get that in the middle of July or August. All of a sudden things stop working. You got a chance to kind of say, okay, maybe I got this. So you got, have you ever done that where, especially since we're now in our 6th year of supply chain problems, have you had that where you need a part and it's a part that everybody needs and they just don't have one in stock and they're very sorry, they would love to do it for you, they just can't get a part for you. So now you've got time to say, hey, I'm going to do that and we're going to do that coming up, and go ahead and have that handy. So that way, if you do have a breakdown and they happen, you're already ready to go.
Talent Heating and Air is the crux to the point of if you are in need, and especially I would imagine your system is getting strained pretty good at the moment if you have not already called Talent Heating and Air, and you can give them a holler at 256-672-4784, or just Google them or head over to talenthvac.com. So, and by the way, a big thank you as well. I don't say this enough for Lynn Layton Ford. That is this hour's sponsor, Lynn Layton Ford. It is located just south of the Beltline, Tom Abraham, just south of the Beltline.
Yeah, you stay on 6 and go past the Beltline.
Yeah, you go past the Beltline.
You scoot over there to get some Steak and Shake, and then you go down a little bit further.
That's the Beltline, Tom.
Yeah, because you'll see the Lynn Layton Chevrolet,
about a
but
mile
just south of that on 6.
That's right.
Is Lynn Layton Ford.
That's right.
And they've got a lot of pretty looking F-150s out there.
Yes, they do. In fact, our main man in charge, who is on his way, from what I understand, just a proud new recipient of a Ford F-150.
He and Tom Abraham both.
Yeah.
Got some really good-looking F-150s. And if you're looking for it, I like Wes's, the hybrid.
Yeah.
He could, because, Wes lives out in the county, and that's how you pronounce the county. And so when you're stuck, you're stuck. And that F-150, as a hybrid, he can use it as a generator until they can get out in the county and fix his power, if he has a power outage. Because if you're like me, there's more and more in your life that you need electricity for. There's no Wi-Fi at all when the power goes out. And
this
also,
is accurate.
Also, you're trying to run a budget. That freezer don't work when the power's out.
Coming up in hour number 2, I had a chance to visit with quite a few coaches today, but really 2 of the longer extended visits that I had off the air. I did a couple on the air earlier today, but Madison Academy head football coach Bob Godsey spoke with Coach Godsey, as well as Westminster Christian Academy head football coach Louis LeBlanc. Now, Coach LeBlanc, I asked him to give me a fairly detailed thought on this whole private-public split, and Coach LeBlanc was very willing to oblige. So it's a very candid interview with the Wildcats head football coach, and it's worth listening to. Of just this whole dynamic. This is year 1 of the split between public and private, and because there are whispers that are getting louder and louder and louder, and I heard it from several coaches today, from one member of the media that I spoke with earlier today as well, about the potential of a just flat-out breakaway of private schools breaking off and just doing their own thing. Now, I don't think that is the right thing to do. What I think the right thing to do is for the AHSA to go back to where they were. I don't know why it is as a hot button issue for some people. I didn't have a problem with public and private in the same pool. And
here in Huntsville, in our area, they're fairly well matched. But there are some schools in the great state of Alabama that are private schools and that are just buzzsaws.
Monsters.
Just monsters. Now, as a product of private school, we were 1A because there was nothing smaller.
Yeah.
And we got fed to the buzzsaw quite a bit. Now, some very fine doctors and lawyers came off of that field, but no football grades. So we leaned heavily on academic scholarships. But I mean, we held our own. We made it to We made it to the first round of the playoffs every year I was in high school.
Nice.
We played Beulah and we got killed.
When I went to Tucker, a public school, we would make it usually, especially in football, second round, third round. That's about how it. And then we'd run into Marist. So I mean,
marching band got all ones, by the way. But we had small marching band. We had 40 people. But I was third chair trumpet because there were only 3. So, but I mean, there are some that are just monsters. So I kind of see the point. But listening to the head coach at John Paul II talking about they're traveling and they're driving past like 6 schools they used to play another team.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what the answer is.
This is not the final solution, I'd like to believe, from the AHSA. I believe there will be some tweaking, and I know this is a 2-year experiment, and people that I've listened to from the AHSA inside the office even consider this an experiment of even these 2 years, where one solution would be to go back to where we were. And although that person did say highly unlikely, but because once you go down this path, those that are indeed chomping at the bit for this separation would probably voice their opinion even louder. But
well, as a great man once said, it you can't unsneeze.
Yeah.
So some of this is just going. Some of this can't go completely back.
So we featured Buckhorn, Huntsville, Grissom, Madison Academy, Madison County, Bob Jones, James Clements, Westminster Christian Academy, Randolph, Lee, May Jemison, Hazel Green, Columbia, New Hope, Whitesburg Christian, JP2, and Sparkman. Coach Jerry Glanville set to join us on the other side of our first time out. Let's go ahead and do that right now, shall we? We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and we've got the hottest deals on the coolest rides in North Alabama during our summer sales event at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. With your good credit, get 0% financing, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 cost of maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 down payment assistance on a huge selection of new Fords. Get up to $10,000 off MSRP on remaining 25 Broncos. $10,000 off. While they last, get up to $7,000 off MSRP on 25 Bronco Sports. $7,000 off. Factory fresh new 26 F-150 STX crew cabs started under $41,000, and Lynn Layton Ford will never add any dealer dock fee or ridiculous upcharge. Don't miss out on 0%, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 down payment assistance on a huge selection of new Fords. Hurry to Lynn Layton Ford in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or LynnLaytonFord.com.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I might fall from a tall building. I might roll a brand new car. 'Cause I'm the unknown stuntman.
Come on now. It is a Monday edition of The Drive. That song can only mean one thing. That Coach Jerry Glanville is the defensive coordinator of the San Antonio Toros, is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you, Coach?
I'm fantastic. Do you have Wes there?
I am here, Coach.
Are you eating a rib as we're talking?
No, not today.
Not today.
It's kind of funny. I met a guy, a real nice young kid that was, it happened in his junior year. He had to get the pig valve in his heart. And I said, well, you had to have a pig valve, and that's why you're alive. And he says, then don't you dare eat any ribs in honor of those pigs. Don't you go back and eat them.
Coach, that's an old Louis Groussard joke.
I was about to say. That's
every time I drove past the barbecue joint, his eyes would well up with tears.
I got to tell you that we're right around the corner from the baseball all-star game.
That's right, tomorrow.
And probably the most interesting thing, you know me and the Tigers, and the Tigers are playing Philadelphia, and Philly's so good. And Wheeler refused to go when he was the second choice, the pitcher.
Really?
And Wheeler has he's like 9-1 his record, and he's got the lowest ERA in baseball. Well, the first vote he didn't make it. Well, then somebody said they're not going. Some pitcher says, I can't go, I need the rest. So they said, well, invite Wheeler. Wheeler said, I'm not being your second choice. So lo and behold, he was mad, and he lined up against the Tigers last night. And he may be Scooble's good. Wheeler may be better. Struck out 10. I didn't see a pitch there, Wes, that you and I would have made contact with the bat.
That's any pitch for me.
Wow. And then their third, fourth, and fifth hitter for Philly has 68 home runs. So today, Friday, is the home run derby.
Today is, Coach.
Today, that's right, today. And all three of them are in the home run derby.
Wow.
You wonder why they've lost one series. Pardon me. They have not lost a series for the year. They have split a series, but they've never lost a series with anybody they play.
I tell you, at least from looking at the recent trends, both the Rays and Marlins have been playing some really good baseball, but I doubt anybody in the state of Florida knows about it because nobody's going to their games.
No, yeah. I did the last Ram game in L.A. before they moved to St. Louis. I was working for Fox, and I got in real trouble. It was the last time they were going to play in L.A., and I saw a guy in center field, and I got on my cough button. I told the guy, he goes, get a real close-up of that guy and then back up. He was in the end zone. He was the only guy there. And as I was calling the game, I said, well, there's a fan, and they backed up. I said, well, what's great about L.A., you can be in the witness protection plan and be safe at a ramp. Well, I got in trouble.
Yeah, I imagine the Shield didn't like that. Paul Tagliabue probably back in the day on that one.
And we were so tied into anything New York. When I worked for Fox, it was all about what do we do to get New York to listen, New York, New York, New York. And I said, I guess I don't belong in TV. Don't confuse me with somebody that gives a damn about New York. It's not me.
Is that really one of the things they were most concerned, get somebody from New York to listen?
The whole thing, how about this? They said, CBS hired me away from Fox because they thought I was good. But they said, but Jer, you can't do New York. And I said, I can't do New York? He says, no. You sound way too Southern to do New York games. And I said, did you ever hear of a guy named Dandy Dan Meredith? I don't think I talk as Southern as he does.
No.
And I said, it's funny you tell me I talk Southern because I grew up on the east side of Detroit. I wasn't even on the south side. And they said, well, I don't know where you got your... Well, I married a girl from Georgia, Douglasville, Georgia. And if you look up on the map, they pump daylight into there. It's right in the middle of nowhere. And then my son grew up in Texas, and you'd swear he was Texas all the way. Because I knew I went to pick him up, and he said, do you know Miss So-and-so? This is my son. He's probably like 9 years old. I goes, no. He said, she's the bus driver. I said, no, I don't know her. He goes, well, the door opened, and she threw a smile down on me, and I knew I was fixing to have a good day. I goes, oh, my God, I'm living with a cowboy. And I just got back from San Antonio, and God bless those Texans. They are special people.
It sounds like you had a lot of fun, Coach. I know we talked a little bit about it last Monday.
Did you eat any churros? Charles Barkley talks about the churros all the time there.
Oh, wow. The thing I love about there is at night, you have no humidity. So at night, you go out to eat. You go out they go to what they call ice houses, which are like beer places. They drink, the tall Texas, all that. But you're outside. You're never inside because the temperature drops from 95 to like 78, but there's no humidity because you're really in the desert. And everybody's outside. What I love about our San Antonio, nobody in the city does not go out. There's nobody staying home. If you were a burglar, you could go to every house. Everybody goes out every night. I said, gosh, I should live here. Holy cow, this is cool.
Well, Coach, I wanted to ask about specifically the month of July when camps are opening up. What was the biggest goal when you were a head coach in July to get your team ready for the run once the preseason and the regular season started, Coach?
The biggest thing that I stressed is you don't take off from where you finished. You don't. We finished with 12 wins, and now we'll build from there and get to 14. That is not true in the NFL. You have to go back to ground zero and you got to build so that you can win as many as you did last year. And people fall in the trap. Well, look how good Detroit was. All they got to do is win one more game, and they'll be in the Super Bowl. Well, that isn't what happens. You have to go back and stress the same fundamentals. And Wes was with me. We were a technique team, and you don't do technique in the off season. If somebody tells me a nose tackle's technique's getting better, I said, "What's he doing? Playing on the interstate against a tractor trailer?" You've got to go back and teach the technique so that you're not just trying to win with your physical skills. You have to win with your physical skills in the proper technique.
If you don't have the proper technique, you can't block anybody, I don't think. I mean,
no, and you can't shed a block. You know that. If I don't have the right foot and the right hand on you, you got me. And you have to go back and teach that. And I think between us three sideliners here, I think the technique is slipping away. I don't think it's started
100%. Yeah.
As we used to.
I watch the games now, and I watch some NFL games. Heck, I watched the Super Bowl play where the right tackle, actually they were doing tackle over, so they had two tackles, but the guy in the middle was supposed to block down, stepped out with his outside foot and got blown up. If he just steps with his left foot to the inside, it's no way that the play's going to get blown up.
Yeah,
it's the little things that get you beat. I mean, always.
Well, it's like I'm in Texas coaching a month ago, and I've got the back coming out of the backfield. I'm the outside linebacker, and I don't ever let you have the back if he flares without having your inside foot back. And people say, why you like that, Josh? When I step with my inside foot forward and you flare, I've got you. If I step with my outside foot, I've got to take another step to catch up. And so, you know me, I coach every step, every foot, every place you go.
Because it's a game of inches, right?
Yeah. And like this last season, we had 12 halfback flares. Not one ball was thrown. Why? Because we stepped with our inside foot. Bam, the quarterback looks, says, he's covered. I'm going somewhere else. And remember at the apex, go 3-by-1. Go 3 wideouts. If you're driving your car, there's 3 wideouts to your left. There's 1 wideout to your right. So you're cheating over here to these 3 wideouts. So that backside, what would I be doing if I was getting ready to open up the season? That backside one, that linebacker has to apex and take away the slant and jump the out. So that corner's loss is safety help. So you can't say we're going to take the 3-by-1 away till you help the one. The one alone on the corner, I've got to do an apex with the will to shut down the routes. And that's what I think this kind of knowledge is disappearing into. Let's go get the most money and get the best player.
Coach, I have not asked you about the outlaw showman. That moniker has been with you as long as I have heard the name Jerry Glanville. And how did that moniker really get attached to you? And you really kind of, especially in Atlanta, embraced it in a big way. But the outlaw showman in particular, how did that come about for you, Coach?
It's kind of funny you say that because I was talking to Jim Leland. You all know who Jim Leland
sir.
is. And I said, Jim, you should come up here. This was last I said, you should come up here. I'm coaching the Perrysburg High School football coaches in Jim Leland Stadium. So you should be there. You should be there because we're going to be where the building's named after you. He goes, why don't you tell them what we all did in high school? That's all you need to tell them. I goes, well, it's just have one Jerry Glanville, and everybody follow him, you'll win. and so all the way back then, it was amazing. I I was the lead dog. You know, the coach called me the bellwether. The bellwether. I'm the cow carrying the bell. Follow me home. And I think that just carried into coaching from playing and the way we played. And I think I'm lucky enough that I'm able to teach some of that. You know, I teach two things really more than anybody in football. I teach effort. I teach effort counts twice. Effort overcomes ability that's not working. And then I teach physicality. Well, this year, we're 4-0, got 4 shutouts, and the guy at Detroit Lions calls says, every team at some point surrenders to your physicality. And he says, I don't know when. It may not be the second half. Well, I thought about Wes in your group against the Oilers. What are we going to say, Wes? Every team, sooner or later, surrendered to the physicality.
No question. I mean, yeah, no question.
Yeah. And you were there. You're part of it. And that hasn't changed. Yeah. Probably the best compliment I got, you probably know Andy Reid coaches the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
He watched the Toros, and you're going to love this. He said, the helmets change, the jerseys are a different color, and you got a different mascot, but the play never changes.
Well, there's only one way to play football.
Yes, you have to be. You have to have malice of forethought.
And make their, and as Coach Saban said, and make their ass quit.
That needs to be stitched on a pillow right there.
Yeah, malice of forethought. That's the truth.
Hey, you like to? Last week you told me you like to bring the lady on the roller coaster.
I used that twice this week, Coach.
I did too, actually. Yeah, I really did. Yeah. But from the coaches you've seen in the past, would Paul Brown, his coaching style, work in today's game?
Well, Paul Brown's coaching style is imitated every day. And I was so fortunate he tried to hire me when he was at the Bengals. But what did Paul Brown do? He was the first guy that filmed practice.
That's right.
He was the guy that had a notebook. He was the first guy. He's the guy he's the first guy that had full-time staff. And so here we were, he had to beat us at Detroit. He's in the playoffs at the Bengals, and we beat him. And the only way we could beat him, we had to stop his punt returner. And so the first time in the history of football, Jerry Glanville split both ends on the punt team. And Isaac Curtis was his punt returner, great punt returner. And he's going to beat you. He's winning all the games. So I split the ends and covered the punt. And we won the game. We stopped Isaac Curtis. Monday, that's on Sunday. On Monday, I'm in my office when my phone rings, and it's Paul Brown. And Paul Brown says, Jerry, I got some questions for you. I said, well, Coach, it's such an honor for you to call me. He goes, first question. I said, yes. What would you have done with those 2 split ends if I'd have run a 10-man punt block while you split those ends? I said, Coach Brown, you'd have to hire me to find out.
Great answer.
And he said, well, you got a job here. Just tell me when you're coming. How about that?
That's a great answer, Coach. That's wow.
And really, Wes, I was going to bring one end in and have him double bump like a wingback on a field goal and leave the split one to the side I was going to kick the ball. I wasn't going to tell him that. We ran the first nickel against the Redskins. First time anybody had a nickel back. And this to tell you about those coaches. It's funny you asked about would they be good today. And so the first nickel ever is run against the head coach at the Washington Redskins. We're at Detroit. And my phone rings the next morning. And it's the head coach of the Redskins. and he'd just been to the Super Bowl the year before. Remember, Over the Hill Gang?
Oh, yeah. Billy Kilmer, yeah.
Yeah, and the coach says, I'm trying to figure out...
George Allen.
Why? George Allen. I'm trying to figure out, Jer, why you brought in that other defensive back and what you were doing. We could not make a first down on third down. Can you tell me what you were doing? And here is George Allen talking to Jerry Glanville, and I said, that was a substitution there. We were supposed to send a Will in, and the DB went in instead. And what I was doing, I was doubling a single guy in and out. And you can't double with a Will, as you know, Wes. So I brought in another corner, and the two corners were playing combo in and out on one because we were loaded up. All the backers went to the three-man side. So they were going 3-by-1. So when they went 3-by-1, I went nickel. And that was the first nickel in pro football.
Another coach that intrigues me he also was very charismatic behind the microphone is Hank Stram. I personally would think Hank Stram would be just as good today, Coach.
Well, it's funny. He was my biggest booster. He was announcing when I was coaching in Atlanta, but I coached against him when he was the head coach, of course, of the
Kansas City?
No, when he went to the Saints.
Okay.
He went to the Saints. He played Atlanta twice, and that's where he got to know me. But you two will love this. So now I'm coaching. He's doing TV. He goes, how does it feel to be the only rock star in pro football? And I looked at Hank and I don't know what you're talking about, Hank. He goes, when you come out on the road and you walk out of the tunnel, it's a rock star. He goes, who else would they throw snakes and flashlight batteries at other than a rock star?
That's hilarious.
When I left Pittsburgh, they'd have to take a tarp, a cape, and throw over me, and it would catch live snakes landing on the tarp.
Who's throwing snakes at you? I've never heard of that.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah. You probably forgot I got bit by a snake before we played them and had to go into emergency and had to get all the shots. And we were playing Pittsburgh the next day, and I was so sick. And they said, "Did you look at the snake?" I said, "When I looked down, I think I saw Chuck Noll." So from then on, they threw snakes at me on away games.
Wow. That'd be no good for me, Coach. Not a big fan of snakes.
Chicago threw flashlight batteries from the upper deck. So we're with the Oilers, and so you probably remember, Wes, we had a first-round pick wide receiver from North Carolina, tall guy.
Hayward Jeffries.
And I said, Hayward, you better put your helmet on because these flashes. He goes, and Hayward Jeffries says, Coach, do you want my helmet? You can wear my helmet. I goes, I appreciate that, but I says we gotta get out of this thing because we were beating Chicago in Chicago. And lo and behold, in a coat and tie, in a suit and tie, all dressed up, Walter Payton came and stood next to me.
Wow.
And I said, what are you doing, Walt? He says, they won't throw one more flashlight battery as long as I'm standing next to you. I goes, well, I appreciate you. He goes, I will warn you, when the game's over, you're on your own. And sure enough, I had to run out and get down through the tunnel without Walter Payton.
Well, the list of top 20 coaches all time listed like this. What do you think, Coach? It goes Lombardi, Walsh, Shula, Hallis, Knoll, and then Brown. That's your top 6.
Wow. One more time.
Lombardi, Walsh, Shula, Hallis, Knoll, and then Paul Brown. That's your top 6.
Well, of course, we beat we beat the 49ers, twice a year. Nobody else could ever do that, let alone once a year. And two of those guys, I'm probably prejudiced because we won when we played him. We beat him. I always thought Hollis should be number one because of the way he retired. What he said when he was retiring, nobody will ever be that smart again. And they said Papa Bear, that was George Hollis. They said, Papa Bear, why are you retiring? You're the owner, you're the head coach, you're the general manager, and you're winning all your games. He said, the reason I'm retiring, this afternoon I was chasing the sideline, chasing an official down the sideline, and I wasn't gaining on him.
That's a great answer. I never heard that.
I have not heard that either. That's awesome.
See, the smartest coach I ever coached against, he isn't on your list, and he never will be. Because Bill Walsh stole his offense, and everybody stole stuff from him. The smartest guy, the hardest guy to set a game plan against was Sam Ritigliano. And Sam Ritigliano took those Browns way past the core. His teams, the team was always better than the parts, and that's what you look for. That tells you who's really coaching. If you've got all the parts and you're beating everybody, that doesn't tell you a lot. But Sam Ritigliano, Bill Walsh, all that adjustable routes, all that stuff they thought Bill Walsh invented. Bill Walsh was with Sam Ritigliano under Paul Brown at Cincinnati, and that's where he got the offense.
I did not know that, Coach.
Well, we're not allowed to say those things. I'll probably be punished. They'll probably come get my ring tomorrow, but I haven't won.
So, as far as coaches, who was the guy, Coach, that you like to go against the least, I would say?
Go against the least. Well, it's kind of funny. The guys you respected and loved the way they coached, you wanted to play them all the time. For instance, Marty Schottenheimer was an unbelievable football coach. But I loved playing them all the time because they were such good games. And there was never a coach who said, the better he was, the more Jerry Glanville wanted to play him. I didn't want to go beat Joe Bag of Donuts because everybody else was beating him. So Joe Bag of Donuts didn't interest me. Shula came with who was the great quarterback from Pittsburgh? He had
Dan Marino.
They came to Houston to play us in Houston. Shula's the coach. Marino's the quarterback, and Marino wore 13 number on his jersey. And when the game was over, he had 13 yards passing. And now, did I enjoy that game? I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it.
I bet.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack driving home. I was so happy. And guess what we did to do that? I can remember 3 or 4 plays that we did not blitz.
So I just put pressure on the whole time.
Pressure.
Coach,
pressure situation bring pressure.
I looked it up, and Sam Ritigliano is still with us. He's 95 years old. This feels like a Jerry Glanville special because I'm reading up a little bit on his early life. He played college football at East Central Junior College in Tennessee, where he roomed with future pro wrestling star Lou Albano.
No way. That's crazy.
That's fantastic is what it is.
Well, I don't know if you were you watching the Falcons when Pridemore was the free safety, Tom Pridemore?
No, I was not.
Okay, that was there when I was in the 70s. So I got the best safety in football, Pridemore. And we're getting ready to play Sam Ritigliano. And here comes the slot back run on the post. Well, Tom Pridemore can take, that's called two vertical. He'd take that all day long. Well, here's what happens with Sam Ritigliano. If Pridemore's in the post, it becomes a corner. What? He changed the route. He's the guy to start all this. If he had a go on, he's going to run a 9 down the sideline, Wes, and you are over the top of him, his guy stopped and turned around. That's where the fade stop came from. If he was running a center, a cross inside, and you're inside of him, he threw his left hand out, turned it into a whip outside. This is it. I looked at that and goes, what is going on? The first time I saw this, I said, wow, what are we going to do? Yeah, they were awesome.
So what do you do, Coach? How do you adjust to that?
Well, what I do, you can't play zones. You got to play different combinations. So the only way I could stop Sam Ritigliano, you're the strong safety and I'm the free safety. We have to bracket him. What's the bracket? If he comes inside, I got him. When he breaks outside, you're right there. You got him. Now, if he breaks flat immediately, you got him, and I'll go double one. But we don't know where we're going till we see where 2 is going. Well, if you do that, your outside linebacker, the way I coach, he has to take the fullback. So Sam was so smart, he's flaring the fullback same way. So you know me, we got our inside foot back, and he flares, bam. I took the fullback with the outside linebacker, put a combo on the slot, and that's how we won. So, and you're like this. Who's the head coach of the Chargers now? Harbaugh?
That is John Harbaugh.
He was at Stanford one time, and he called me up. He said, I want you to be my defensive coordinator. And I said, well, I'm not a West Coast guy. I appreciate the call. He said, well, I need help. And I said, well, what are you playing? He goes, something you would hate. I says, well, what is it? He goes, we're playing statue defense. And I said, I know a lot of football, but I don't know statue. He goes, you won. All we do is stand around.
Statue defense.
Oh.
And then he asked me, I knew he'd been studying me. He goes, can I ask you a question even though you're not coming? I said, yes. He said, do you play man or do you play zone? Everybody has another opinion. And I said, well, when you complete the study, let me know what your answer is. And Wes knows. We're man in the back end and zone underneath. So when you're man to man on the Z route and he's running a crosser, he's got to pass up 3 zone backers and he's man on the top. And to this day, as we're sitting here, whatever year we're in, nobody's ever figured it out. It's still working.
So, Coach, to me, you had one of the best lines ever recorded when you told the NFL ref that the NFL stands for not for long if you keep making calls like that.
That's edited.
Well,
yeah.
I was so upset. That was at Tampa Bay, and the week before we played the Denver Broncos, and Elway was the quarterback. And Johnny Meads was my outside linebacker. Johnny Meads from Louisiana, school in Louisiana. And Elway goes on a scramble, and he's running. Well, Johnny Meads is running over, and he's by the sideline. And Johnny Meads lets up. He doesn't want to get a penalty. And Elway dives straight ahead and blows his knee out. So I lose Johnny Meads because he doesn't want to get a penalty hitting the quarterback on a scramble. So now we're in Tampa the next week. And the quarterback went in the scramble. I told my guy, you got to protect yourself. To hell with them. You got your own career to worry about. Don't worry about the quarterbacks. So that next game was in Tampa where the quarterback went on the scramble, and we hit him in that college official. I asked him, I said, where's the last game you did? Vanderbilt? I could have asked that official. Are you from Vanderbilt? Where are you from? Oh, I got to tell you this. Gosh, I had the number and I lost it. The baseball draft was 2-3 days ago.
It was.
The Southeastern Conference, I wish I memorized the number, had like 106 kids drafted.
Yeah, I saw that number. Hang on, I've got it in my email.
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's nothing like Southeast Conference baseball. It is awesome.
104 total players were selected in this year's Major League Baseball draft.
Nobody's even talking about that. You're the only guy. Go get the Purdue drum. Have you ever played against Purdue?
I know the drum that you're speaking of.
It's the biggest drum in the world. Somebody in the SEC should go up there and start bonging that drum after that baseball draft. Now, if I'm recruiting, if I'm a SEC baseball coach, every house I walk into, I say, "You want to get drafted or not? You come to our league, you get drafted."
Yeah. So it sounds like you'll be watching the Home Run Derby tonight, Coach, or will you? It's on Netflix tonight.
Well, that takes another $12 a month.
Believe me, I understand.
Financially, I'd rather take that $12 and get me a chocolate ice cream cone.
I'm with you 1,000%, considering the humidity levels here in Huntsville, Alabama, right now.
Oh, are you high in humidity?
Oh, it's bordering on Baton Rouge outside right now, Coach.
Oh, wow. I lived in Baton Rouge and loved it because of Phil Brady's. So anybody that's listening on this radio station, Phil Brady's is a blues bar in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And there's no blues in New Orleans that can match Phil Brady's. And the reason is you cannot get on Phil Brady's stage in Baton Rouge unless you're in the Blues Hall of Fame. Well, I went down there every night, but they smoked there. They smoke inside. They smoke all day. And I had a little condo. I would go to my porch on the condo and undress and leave all my clothes outside, go in the condo and get in the shower. I smelled like a cigarette.
Yeah.
But the music was so good, I just kept going back.
Sounds like my kind of place. That sounds fantastic. And we always learn something. We always learn so much. I'm glad I brought up. I never thought I'd be talking about Sam Ritigliano, and I know him best from the Cardiac Kids there with the Cleveland Browns. But really cool memory there, Coach.
Here's the second thing. He went to a college that didn't have football. He went to a little old college. It was a religious deal, and the president was the evangelist speaker, all that, called Liberty. And he started football at Liberty. And look at Liberty.
Wow.
And that was started by Sam Ritigliano.
That's incredible. It really is. Coach, we always appreciate this time next week we'll be in Tampa for the SEC Media Days. Now, as always, you are invited, but I don't.
Wes, do I have my own room?
Yeah, you do.
The last time Wes made me sleep on the floor and wasn't allowed to use the bathroom except the one in the hall.
Well, we do have rules here in the office now, Coach. But you are cordially invited if you'd like to come down to Tampa.
We think anybody, you get to ask the coaches when they're doing their presentation question?
I think they would stop for you, Coach.
Coach, we'll give you a pass. You can ask any questions you want.
How long you think to be before they throw me out when I ask?
Oh, no.
You'd make it at least 10, 15 minutes.
There'd be a line around our table to try to interview you, Coach.
Yeah.
I remember when we had the biggest crowd. It was a Super Bowl, what they call Radio Row.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the three of us were doing a Radio Row, and we had everybody in the NFL sitting there listening to YouTube.
Well, you're cordially invited to come on down if you'd like to.
In Tampa.
In Tampa.
Now, do you have us a hotel room? Or
We have
a
house.
A house.
I rented a whole house, Coach.
Okay, let me ask you this, not to get too personal. Does it have air conditioning?
Well,
it better.
Yeah, they said they had two gerbils running around on a. It has air conditioning, of course.
Well, I may come down. There's a couple places. What time is the function over during the daytime? Do they give us time to run the streets at night?
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, of course they do.
We don't want to be in Tampa without somebody running the streets. I love Tampa. I was down there at Tampa Bay Tampa Bay Vipers in
That's
the
right.
XFL.
That's right.
And I absolutely love living there. It was awesome.
Well, Coach, if you can make it down, we'll saddle up and have a grand old time.
Well, text me the dates and your address. You care if I pull up in a police car?
That's a requirement. You can park yours next to mine.
Hey, I tell you what, we may swap cars down there. I'll come in with the red light on. Wait on me now.
All right. I'll text you, Coach. See you, Coach. I mean,
one of a kind, dude.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah. Let's take a time out, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Lynn Leighton Ford, located online at lynnleightonford.com.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and we've got the hottest deals on the coolest rides in North Alabama during our summer sales event at Lynn Leighton Ford in Decatur. With your good credit, get 0% financing, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 cost of maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 down payment assistance on a huge selection of new Fords. Get up to $10,000 off MSRP on remaining 25 Broncos. $10,000 off. While they last, get up to $7,000 off MSRP on 25 Bronco Sports. $7,000 off. Factory fresh new 26 F-150 STX crew cabs started under $41,000, and Lynn Leighton Ford will never add any dealer dock fee or ridiculous upcharge. Don't miss out on 0%, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 down payment assistance on a huge selection of new Fords. Hurry to Lynn Leighton Ford in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or lynnleightonford.com.
WASP Asset Software, delivered by our Next Level software team, helps you track every asset with ease, giving you total visibility over your tools, equipment, and IT assets from everywhere.
With WASP, our customers have reduced loss, improved accountability, and saved hours of tracking down what they own and where it is.
This is proven technology, and I urge you to ask about it.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the perfect cleaning solution for you. Whether it's new construction, daily work areas, or an area that's been neglected for too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you choose the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Valley even has the right cleaning products for the job. Call Valley Equipment Rental today to learn more. Make a clean sweep with Valley Equipment Rental.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. I know your accident is the real thing, and they happen to real people.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. There's a lot of talk right now about bigger, but when you've had a wreck, is bigger better?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. Do you want to be just a case number?
With offices in Huntsville and Scottsboro, we take the time to help.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Baumhauer's Restaurant. Legendary food and legendary fun. Whether you're craving the freshest seafood from Alabama's Gulf Coast, juicy chicken or char-grilled steaks seared to suck into perfection, you're craving Baumhauer's Restaurant. Add to that a sports-themed atmosphere and HD flat screens every place you look. For a sneak peek at the menu, go to baumhauers.com. Legendary food, legendary fun. Baumhauer's Restaurant.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Fox 54 Weather Impact meteorologist Emily Owen. A few passing showers could be possible for this Monday night across the Tennessee Valley. Low temperatures will be falling into the low 70s for the overnight. Heading into our Tuesday, another day full of rain and thunderstorms. High temperatures warm into the mid-80s for the afternoon.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Join us next week for SEC Media Days 4 days, 16 teams. SEC Media Days coverage with Talkin' Ball, Tom Abraham, and The Drive. SEC football lives on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Always fun to talk to Jerry Glanville. I keep telling my friends in Atlanta who are in the radio business, you don't know what you're missing if you just don't simply just text Jerry Glanville and say, Coach, if you want time, it is all yours.
And then Claire the next day.
Yeah. So their loss is our gain, but Coach really enjoys coming on with us, and never thought we'd be talking Sam Rutigliano, but yeah, Coach Rutigliano, now 95 years old, same age as one Bill Shatner, who just turned.
It surprised us this afternoon looking it up.
Yeah, we looked that up this afternoon. And my immense amount of free time here today is...
Bill Shatner looks better than some people I know in their mid-60s. Of course, I also know some people that are mid-60s look like hell, so... I'm not looking at you.
I was looking at you.
I ain't got there yet. Hey, these aren't all highway miles.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
256-576-4977 is the telephone number that'll get you in after we get a Sports Center update. It was High School Football Media Day today. A big thank you to Fleming Roofing and Restoration for being the presenting sponsor. The Huntsville Sports Commission was out there again today. Quite a number of media contingent out there.
And also shout out to our own John Abraham. Doing good work out there all day.
It was good to see him. It was good to see him.
Yeah, it's good to see him.
It was good to see him. It was really good to see you there, John.
There's a story here. I don't know yet.
I don't
1
know.
hour in the
Don't know the
books.
story yet.
I'm going to listen to Q while we do the Sports Center update.
1 hour in the books. I've got a couple of interviews queued up for hour number 2. So next segment is your last chance for phone calls before you hear from 2 of the coaches, 2 of the 17. We'll be right back.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Nick DeLuca. All-Star Week in Philadelphia, counting down to tonight's Home Run Derby at Citizens Bank Park with a brand new format. 20 swings in round 1, 15 in round 2. In the final round, homer on the final swing allows hitters to keep swinging. 8 participants headlined by Phillies stars Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper. They'll round out the order tonight. Wilson Contreras from the Red Sox, the Cardinals slugger Jordan Walker, Jack Caglione from the Royals, Munetaka Murakami coming from the White Sox, Ben Rice of the Yankees, and Junior Caminero from the Rays. The first 6 coverage, 8 Eastern right here on ESPN Radio. All-Star game coming tomorrow. Dylan Cease and Christopher Sanchez, the starting pitchers. ESPN's Jesse Rogers says the All-Star game is lacking pitching sizzle.
You're throwing 1 inning, for God's sakes. Are you really going to blow out because of the All-Star game? You don't have to throw 105 if you're Miz. You need to sort of respect the game if the game is going to have an All-Star game, you know what I mean? So it feels a little weird with guys dropping out left and right. It's not something we saw back in the day, which is...
Rogers on unsportsmanlike. Elsewhere, surgery coming for Conor McGregor. Will have a procedure following his first-round loss to Max Holloway at UFC 329. Plans to continue fighting post-recovery. Appeared to suffer an injury to his right knee in the opening seconds of his welterweight bout last Saturday, his first appearance in 5 years.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Tuesday, we continue our ESPN Radio Rank 'em series with my top 5 fan bases, and you know my list is sure to fire up the ones left off of it. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
One story that I've been kind of holding that I need to get to, especially before SEC Media Days, is this one. They calculated the most transfers per school in the Southeastern Conference heading into play this year. Incidentally, if you'd like to join us, you can do so, 256-576-4977. The school with the most transfers heading into the 26 campaign, that goes to Ryan Silverfield and the Arkansas Razorbacks with 48 transfers, as quite a few, well, let's see here, a number of them from Memphis, in which Coach Silverfield was the previous head coach. Auburn with 46 transfers for Coach Golish, and 13 of them comes from South Florida, including his starting quarterback in Byron Brown, who is indeed named the starting quarterback heading into this fall.
Who's the backup quarterback? Do you know?
I don't know that, and I'm going to have to learn that, but I will find that answer out. Third on the list of transfers is the LSU Tigers, the Portal King, Lane Kiffin, 44 transfers for LSU, and those expectations keep climbing for LSU and Lane Kiffin in year one. Also with 44 transfers is the place that he just left, the Ole Miss Rebels. 44 transfers in for the Ole Miss Rebels. 42 for Kentucky, as they're also bringing in new management with Will Stein taking over for Mark Stoops. Missouri, I'm sorry, I said it wrong, Missouri, with 39 transfers for Drink, including former Ole Miss quarterback in Austin Simmons, who never got that starting job back. He got Trinidad Chambliss there in Oxford. Also on the list, South Carolina with 35 transfers, Mississippi State with 34 transfers, and the team with the fewest amount of transfers, the Georgia Bulldogs with 15. But Florida, by the way, had 32.
So Georgia has 15, and that is the least.
That's the least.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? I mean, just saying that out loud.
Yeah.
15 is the fewest. Texas had 21, Tennessee 22, Oklahoma 23, Alabama 24 transfers, Texas A&M 26, Vanderbilt 28.
So you look at the teams with, really over 20. You think about that, and that's 25% of your scholarship players in the – it used to be. Well, even if it's 25, that's 25%. But if you go 30 or more –
yeah.
And you count, then you start counting.
Feels
freshmen.
Like danger zone.
Well, think about the freshmen. I don't know about danger zone because it's all about, in the end, it's put players together.
You just don't know how you're going to mix, how they're going to mix
100%,
more than.
Yeah. But sometimes.
LSU comes to my mind when I'm talking about that.
Yeah, and I don't hear anything good coming out of LSU. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, because all I hear good's coming out of is what's the guy that we always I kind of make fun of, but I like Mazzona. What's his name? Steve.
Who are you talking about?
The guy, the LSU guy.
You talking about
Moscona.
Matt Moscona.
Yeah.
He'll probably join us next week.
Yeah, he has them losing 2 games. Of course, he's had them losing 2 games for the last 5 years, and he's. But you look at, it's just. And listen, I'm sure they got plenty of talent, but do they have enough? Have you seen their schedule? It's not easy.
LSU's?
Yeah.
No. I have seen LSU's schedule, and it's your. I know they open up with Clemson, and it's 9 conference games. That is something I think we're going to hear at least from me, of the adjustment, albeit 1 game, but it is still an extra game. And after this year, oh, by the way, that usual cupcake in November, that's going away. Those cupcake games are now going to the early part of the schedule where you cannot plan around a bye week in November.
Yeah, I've always thought the games I never saw Alabama get better in one of those games that late. I think you need to play them early to get your depth. But
I understood the rationale of grinding week in and week out.
And listen, there's not many teams that want to play a major SEC school late in the season like that.
Yeah.
They have to get somebody to play them too. You didn't see anybody line up demanding to play Alabama in November?
I told you 44 transfers for LSU. Their schedule is Clemson, then Louisiana Tech, then at Ole Miss, in what is already a ESPN ABC night game. Game day will be there for. Then they turn around and host Texas A&M. No one's talking about that one.
Yeah.
Then they host McNeese State, at Kentucky, host Mississippi State, then at Auburn, open date, then Bama, then host Texas. That's a nice little back-to-back of Alabama and Texas. Then at Tennessee and at Arkansas to close things out for year 1 for Lane Kiffin. But the back-to-back of Alabama, Texas to start off November,
yes.
That's interesting. But the Ole Miss game is circled, I think, as a turning point, frankly, for both of these teams. Of Trinidad Chambliss, I think we know what kind of player Trinidad Chambliss is and what kind of level. That game against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, that was ridiculous.
Well, those on the play where he reverses field and makes a throw, those 3 guys chasing were all drafted into the NFL. High. They weren't low draft picks. They were highly drafted. The play was amazing. I started laughing because I knew then they were going to win. And I had given them basically no chance to beat Georgia. But, it's football. And Georgia helped them. They needed a little help from Georgia.
Yeah.
But
the center snapping the football?
Yeah.
That kind of thing?
He's not supposed to snap it. Yeah.
Those things. But still, how about not put that player in that position, Kirby?
Well, yeah. I mean, he Kirby'd himself. 4th and Kirby. He did it again. I mean,
so
think about all the 4th and Kirby.
You're still saying 4th and Kirby after what Georgia did to Alabama in December.
Yeah, because they've won twice out of 11. That's bad.
And the 2 wins are a national championship and an SEC championship.
So what? How many times do they lose those? Same thing.
We're about to find out another installment this fall.
Yes. Yeah, he's 4th and Kirby, no doubt.
He'll always be 4th and Kirby?
Yeah, if he keep doing it, yes.
Pro Football Focus unveiled the SEC All-Decade team. Alabama, by the way, with 10 selections. But your quarterback and your All-Decade team from Pro Football Focus, really hard to disagree in Joe Burrow from LSU. That was a fun team to watch in 19 at LSU.
Well, you look at all the players that he had to choose from to throw the ball.
So that didn't stink.
You got Jordan Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And there's 2 or 3 others still in the NFL as well, wide receiver just wide receiver wise.
Running back, your starting running back in an all-decade team is Najee Harris from Alabama.
Who voted?
This is Pro Football Focus.
Oh, okay.
Wide receivers are Devontae Smith, Malik Neighbors, your distant relative, and Jerry Jeudy
from another mother.
That's right. Malik Neighbors, Jerry Jeudy, and Devontae Smith. That's 2 from Bama, 1 from LSU. Your tight end, do I really have to say this out loud? Your all-decade team tight end is Brock Bowers from Georgia.
Unbelievable player.
There was one other player that garnered a vote, and that was Kyle Pitts. The offensive line includes Jonah Williams from Alabama. No argument there. Andrew Thomas from Georgia. Landon Dickerson from Alabama. Braden Smith
I
from
would have
Auburn.
never guessed Landon Dickerson. If he had quit his junior year, not come back his senior year, he wouldn't be on there. That's the guy that's in the NFL doing the things he's doing because he got that extra year. Guy's talented. Don't get me wrong, but Coach Saban turned him mentally into a football player.
Interior defensive line includes Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State. There's a background story there. And then Quentin Williams from Alabama.
He's an unbelievable player.
Mm-hmm. Defensive.
Really only played 1 year. He started 1 year and he was gone.
Your edge defenders would be Josh Hines Allen from Kentucky and some guy named Will Anderson Jr., who is tearing it up in
NFL,
Houston.
No question.
Linebackers, I'm proud to say I voted for this guy for the Heisman, Roquan Smith from Georgia.
Yeah, that was a guy
and Nakobe
you
Dean
talked
from
about
Georgia.
a lot before anybody else talked about him. Then I watched him, and I had to admit you were so right. Because that guy, if in the game where Alabama in the Tua game, if Roquan Smith was not playing in that game, Alabama would beat him by 3 or 4 touchdowns. Go watch that game.
That's a fact.
He made almost every tackle.
Your
nuts.
Cornerbacks, again, this is the all-decade team as voted on by Pro Football Focus. I just liked this list because I was just like, okay, I couldn't really. Patrick Surtain II from Alabama, Derek Steenley Jr. from LSU, and some guy named Minka Fitzpatrick from Alabama. Your safeties are Xavier McKinney from Alabama and Grant Delpit from LSU. So that is.
I bet the third team starting in the NFL. I mean, that's some really good players.
The 2011. I always pivot back to that 2011 Alabama LSU where it broke the BCS as much as it's not. We know it broke the BCS, but the amount of talent that was on both of those rosters at Alabama and LSU.
They say it was 50-something played in the NFL?
The last article I remember reading said that was a total of 57 players that actually played at least one snap in the NFL.
From
that game. That game.
That's crazy. You look at that.
It really is. 256-576-4977, the telephone number. Today, it was cool to visit with a bunch of players as well as coaches from the Madison County area. There is one kid, and I went up and shook his hand. There was a kid at Mae Jemison, and I believe it was Tyson Capers. You might want to. This kid, I say kid because he's technically in high school, is just a monster of an individual. And I'm excited to see what he can potentially do because he certainly has the body build of a big-time college football player. We'll see. But Mae Jemison is at least Tyson Capers was on my watch list right after bumping into him. He's was about 6'4".
Right after you bumped into him and had to pick yourself up off the floor?
He is a big individual. And
I'm real excited to see what he does this season.
I am too. And a big thank you to all 17 schools for coming out. And it's always, of course, good to see the coaches. Jerry Adcock was just same old Jerry Adcock. And
I think I spoke at his when he was at Decatur. I spoke to the team 20 years ago.
Did you really?
At least 20 years ago. It's before I was on the radio.
And he is now at Whitesburg Christian. And he mentioned to us last year that he didn't have players who could drive. Well, he told me that he's got 6 players who, so now the parking lot is starting to fill up a little bit where his players can actually drive a vehicle to practice. And so
I went to one of their games last year.
Did you?
Yeah, they upset somebody. I forget who it was, but they weren't supposed to beat him, and they beat the dog out of him.
So on the subject of upsets, Columbia is taking a 101 losing streak into this year, and they have a game right out of the gate, and a lot of people are circling this game in particular for Columbia, and at least players look good. And talking with head coach Sammy Coates, gave them a little bit of attention last year, did Gatorade and the fine folks from NFL Films who followed them. But Greensboro is coming up here, and that's a 2A school. They just hired their head coach at Greensboro 2 weeks ago. So there is some optimism of the potential of this losing streak stopping on what is a Saturday, August 22nd. It's a Saturday, Columbia and Greensboro. I think that game is at Moulton Frank Stadium. But really cool to visit with Coach Coates and his players as well. Yeah, just a cool event. It's, if you love high school football, and what we cover it in a big, big way here at the radio station. Now, someone who does have those high school ties, I at least want to give a shout out to a former Huntsville High football player.
2-0 pitch, smoked into left center field, a base hit. That'll score a run indeed. It goes all the way to the wall. RBI double by Brewer Hicklin, his first RBI as a big leaguer, and it's 3-1 Braves in the top of the 6th. That sounded great, didn't it? That exploded off his bat.
It did sound great. And yes, Brewer Hicklin with 2 hits yesterday, a single. That was the RBI double.
That is unbelievable.
As the Braves win it and salvage a game in St. Louis. But
good job.
Brewer Hicklin, who is a good friend of this radio station.
Yes.
I know visits with the morning show a good bit, but as soon as he was hitting in the 9-hole, but he was raking. And so something tells me we may not be done with Brewer Hicklin.
Gosh, I hope not.
Because Jim Jarvis, he has found his way into the lineup as well, the former Crimson Tide shortstop. So all I know is the Braves won yesterday, and
because of a Huntsville High boy.
It's a really cool story.
But we're still long-suffering Braves fans, so we're going to temper our excitement. I mean, I'm happy to see it.
I'll take.
I'll
take a lead.
Let's see if there's another Mr. October here.
I'll take a lead. If someone were just to tell me, hey, you'll have a 2-game lead at the break. You'll have a 2-game lead at the break. Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, sure, it's not how, especially when the Braves were up by 10.5 games.
So when did Brewer end up with the Braves?
He was picked up during the offseason, but has been in the minors and been playing really well for Gwinnett. Here's a little bit of Brewer Hicklin with the guys on Braves Vision postgame.
Braves debut, couple of hits, including your first Major League extra base hit and RBI. You didn't get the call up. You got a knock on the front door. How's today feel for you?
Oh, it's such a blessing. You know, I just think back to the journey that it's taken to get here, and I really can't put into words how thankful I am for the Braves organization. I mean, as a kid growing up in Alabama, there's nothing more I wanted in life than to play for the Atlanta Braves. So to be able to put this uniform on and wear it with pride is such a blessing. And I can't help but to thank God for continuing to give me the ability and the opportunities to spread his kingdom and love through the way that I try to play baseball. And I'm just beyond words and super thankful for today, especially having my wife and my two sons in the stands, my parents up there. I mean, I got to see my kid before the game, and I just had a tear in my eye because it's just so cool to be able to just let my son watch me go out and play each and every day. And it just makes me emotional because, just want to make him proud.
That's a little bit of Brewer Hicklin post game.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
He has been in the AAA and has struggled every time they've ever brought him up. And the fact that he's
had a good day yesterday.
Just listen to what he said.
Mm-hmm. You can hear the appreciation.
You can just hear the class. It's just
just
total class.
So that is somebody who was part of Friday Night Lights and had a chance to talk to two head coaches earlier today, and Bob Godsey and Louis LeBlanc. And you'll be able to hear those interviews coming up next right here on The Drive. And then it's the Home Run Derby.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Rocket City Trash Pandas are back home July 21st through the 26th. Promotions include an adult jersey giveaway on the 22nd, a beverage belt giveaway on the 23rd, and Pirate and Princess Night on the 24th. Get your tickets and learn more about our weekly promos by visiting tptix.com. That's tptix.com.
Let's rock it. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all, with features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Welcome to Southern Wagyu Steakhouse and Meat Market in Huntsville. From hand-cut premium steaks and chef-crafted Southern favorites to phenomenal made-from-scratch desserts and restaurant-quality meats you can take home. Every meal is made with passion and served with genuine Southern hospitality. Join us for lunch or dinner. Attend a monthly 5-course supper club or stop by to stock up your grill. You'll see that we deliver excellence from prep to plate. Southern Wagyu Steakhouse and Meat Market, corner of Highway 72 East and Jordan Road. Come taste the difference.
Talking ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Here is my conversation with Madison Academy head football coach Bob Godsey. Another team, another playoff run last year. Tell me a little bit about the offseason, Coach.
I feel like we've had a good offseason now. We've got we only have 6 seniors, so we're going to have a younger squad. But at the same time, I think we have a lot of experience because we've had a lot of younger kids that have played so much over the last couple of years. So it's a little bit different, maybe than what we've had. Just having the 6 seniors has been a long while since I've been through something like that. So we're counting on our seniors and our junior class to help this team grow as we move forward.
How much did the great debate that did happen, the split that did it have an effect on your program?
No, I don't think so. I think we've just kind of taken it, the approach of it is what it is, and let's go play. But I don't know that it's had any type of effect on our program, positive or negative. If anything, I think our guys are excited that this is going to be the toughest regular season schedule that a Madison Academy team's ever played, top to bottom, non-region games, that type thing. We're going to be traveling and playing some teams we've never played before, so that's exciting as well. That's just kind of the approach that we've always taken and will always take is, you get past the politics, you get past we got some bigger schools and all of that. You line up and you go play as hard as you can play, and that's what we've been kind of working toward. Show up every day, work as hard as you can work. And I think our young men have done an excellent job of taking that approach.
How do you feel about your 2D, Coach?
I feel good. I really do. I think we have more guys right now. I think we're in a better spot right now than we were maybe a year ago in terms of that. Now, as I said before, we got some freshmen that are extremely talented, and before their eligibility is done, they're going to do some unbelievable things. But they're still freshmen. So there are going to be some growing pains as we go through that, and we got to have these older guys, help them get through that. We experienced some of that today in some 7-on-7. There's going to be some growing pains, but how we handle those things will be a big indicator as to how well our season goes.
I know we start out with Mars Hill again, and that's another program that's going through a lot of changes as well.
So it'll be interesting as far as that goes, but we're really looking forward to going back over there and kicking the season off again. And maybe we left a few things on the table over there last year. I feel like we'll be a little bit better prepared for that, just simply because we've got a little bit more experience in certain places. Now sure they've had a coaching change and things are going to look different and all that, but they still got a lot of really, really good players.
How many seniors you dressing this year, Coach?
We will dress 6.
Okay.
We have 6 seniors right now. We'll play.
I thought it was 10, but I didn't know it was 6 then.
We'll play 3 on offense and 3 on defense. Now, the good part of that is, even though we got 3 seniors on offense, we return 8 starters. So that's a good thing. We're returning 6 starters on defense. So once again, I think it's a talented roster. I think even though it's a young roster, I do think we have a considerable amount of experience. Last year our roster was older, but it wasn't very experienced. So we're counting on that experienced guys that have actually been in the fire and been in the tough games to help us get us over this second round hump.
Year 8 is, for a second, I needed to pause and do a little ciphering, Coach.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I really do. It's been a quick 8, I guess. That's what I'm saying. And it's been fun, and I feel like that. I guess I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I feel like we're growing, and from a playoff run standpoint and all of that, maybe the last 2 years haven't been to the standard, but I think from where we started at the beginning of the season to where we ended, it's very good. And a lot of times a playoff run too goes into the draw, and who you draw and when you draw. And
Anderson was pretty sporty.
And a pretty tough draw for the second round for anybody, much less us. So and then we got West Morgan the year before that. So but it is what it is, and I've certainly enjoyed my time, and I love our staff. I think we have an excellent staff. It's small, but I think we're getting a lot done. I wish we were able to have a few more guys, and I love our team. Our young men have done everything we've asked them to do this offseason, had fun doing it, and we're growing as a team and as a program, and that's all you can ask.
Who would you say the leaders are heading into the year?
Well, we'll count on our seniors, 2 guys we have, Slate Glover and Jace Gaines. Tosh Phillip needs to be a leader for us as he comes back as a receiver. He's had an outstanding summer as well. And then of course Charleston is that's one of the things as he had a really good year last year, but one of the things where he really needs to elevate his game is being a leader. And he spent 2 years of basically just trying to take care of himself, and now he needs to be able to take the next step and be a big-time leader on this team. But we're always looking for guys, and that's going to be huge for this team. Talking with some other guys, one of I think the most difficult things that you have right now with young people is that ability to accept that ownership, accept that accountability to be the leader. I think that's probably as difficult a task as you face as a coach now. When you get that guy that'll step out there and be the guy, you've got something, and we need some of those guys.
I'm excited, Coach.
I really am. It's going to be a lot of new stuff, but I really like our squad. I like where we are. I feel like maybe we have a little bit more depth, that we can put some more guys out there, especially on the defensive front. Like everybody, though, I don't care what level you're at. You got to stay healthy, the injury bug has kind of hit us at the wrong spots at times the last couple of years, but that's the way it goes, and you learn from it.
But then all of a sudden you got games like North Jackson,
exactly.
Games that are a couple of years ago, Geraldine.
Exactly. That are just fun games that you'll always remember, and kids will always remember. And one of the things that when I talk to former players running in different places, and I talk to them, we've always had a say in 49-48 or 3-2, find a way. We've had to change that to 57-56 now. But I just felt like our guys that night just kept finding ways to win. Even though we gave up 56 points, we made some huge defensive plays through that night. We got some turnovers, got some stops, got to stop late, on the last deal of the game there, and then just had so many guys make plays offensively that night, and it was just a lot of fun.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and we've got the hottest deals on the coolest rides in North Alabama during our summer sales event at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. With your good credit, get 0% financing, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 cost of maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 down payment assistance on a huge selection of new Fords. Get up to $10,000 off MSRP on remaining 25 Broncos. $10,000 off. While they last, get up to $7,000 off MSRP on 25 Bronco Sports. $7,000 off. Factory fresh new 26 F-150 STX crew cabs started under $41,000, and Lynn Layton Ford will never add any dealer dock fee or ridiculous upcharge. Don't miss out on 0%, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 down payment assistance on a huge selection of new Fords. Hurry to Lynn Layton Ford in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline in Decatur, or lynnlaytonford.com.
The LG software team brings you Bamboo HR. Bamboo streamlines everything from hiring to offboarding and eliminating manual HR tasks.
With Bamboo, our customers have saved time, stay organized, and keep employees happier with a seamless HR experience.
This is unique to Huntsville and Birmingham, and I urge you to ask about it.
Just ask anyone.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
Have you tried indoor golf yet? You need to check out The Golfus. The Golfus is Huntsville's newest, nicest, and only multi-location indoor golf venue. Spend an hour on the virtual range working on your game or play more than 2,000 golf courses. Our grand opening pricing makes us the best value in town. And if you really love it, grab a limited time, unlimited golf membership for only $99 a month. Get all of the details at thegolfus.com.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Fox 54 weather impact meteorologist Emily Owen. A few passing showers could be possible for this Monday night across the Tennessee Valley. Low temperatures will be falling into the low 70s for the overnight. Heading into our Tuesday, another day full of rain and thunderstorms. High temperatures warm into the mid 80s for the afternoon.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm Bill Crawford, the host of The Point with Bill Crawford. Tune us in Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on Talk Radio WZZN.
Here is my conversation with Westminster Christian Academy head football coach, Louis LeBlanc. I really wanted to dive into this offseason. Certainly, I know a lot has changed, Coach, but tell me a little bit about y'all's offseason, Coach.
I mean, we're really young. Last year we graduated 16 seniors. This year we have 6. So it's a young team. The senior group as a whole at our school is a really small group. It's been that way since 6th grade. So that alone presents some challenges, but we've got some inflated groups in the other grades, so that also presents challenges. And but excited about these guys and the seniors. The few that we have done a great job of wanting to lead and do what they have to do. A lot of unknowns, for us, and that are tough, and especially just with the new alignments, the regions, the travel, the teams. Some of the teams we have to play that we normally would never play, and but it's football. That's just what we got to do. So anyway, just a lot of unknowns. We've had some turnover, just guys that have moved and coaches that have moved, and I normally haven't had a lot of turnover. I've been really blessed to have guys that have been on staff with me the whole time that I've been a head coach, and so to experience some of the turnover we've had in the last couple of years it's been hard. It's all been good things, just life, just life pulling people in different directions, and that always presents some things that you have to deal with, and but excited about our new coaches, and new coaches bring new ideas and new outlooks and new connections, and so it's been tough, not being with some of the guys I've been with for the last going on 11 years, but excited about the possibilities of what these guys bring to the table, and seeing the energy they've infused into the program, and the new outlook, and so it's been exciting.
The great debate is finally here, the split. It surprised me a little bit, honestly, Coach. Did it surprise you?
Yeah, it really did. I don't know. I wish that I wish somebody would do just embed themselves in a private school, cover everything, and do a weekly show on it. I think it would really open the eyes of the people around the state as to what goes on. What don't
we know, Coach?
I'll never forget, I hired a guy he retired in the public school system, and he came over. He was all anxious. He goes, how's it work? I said, how's what work? And he's like, well, like when you hire coaches and you want to get players in and all that stuff. I said, well, we pay less money than we do in the public school system because we don't have the money to pay coaches what they get in the public school system, and there is no process to get guys in. Either they get admitted and they pay tuition and can play, or they don't. And I don't have a booster that I call. I can't imagine calling a booster and asking for $15,000 to get a quarterback in or a running back in. I can't imagine doing that. I mean, we need to build a cafeteria. We need our baseball is just now getting, baseball and softball are just now getting brick dugouts for the visiting team. We've had chain link fence. Everything we do is driven by tuition dollars and the goodness of our parents paying money. So to throw money around at players sounds like, oh, that's just commonplace. That just sounds like what would happen at a private school. It's actually insanity to think that, because these are people's hard-earned dollars here. What's the payoff for them? If I go out and spend $60,000 on a few players and win a state championship, what's the payoff for them? There is no payoff. It's just, and then I'm going to come back next year and ask for another $60,000. And so, I mean, we got teachers. Every teacher in a private school is making far less money than a public school teacher is. So, how am I going to try to go out and take Westminster community dollars that could go towards salaries, that could go toward improvement of facilities, and I mean, I don't know. It's just we don't, like, I see all the schools in Madison County are getting turf, and I have people ask me, when y'all getting turf? And I said, well, we're not. And I said, but you're in Madison County. I said, well, we're a private school, and if I want to get turf, we're going to have to raise $1 million. Yeah. And I would rather spend $1 million on a science wing for our school than turf football field. Nothing against those schools that be able to do that. It's incredible. We just don't have those resources. I open up AL.com and I see the article about $150 million Gulf Shores High School. Yeah. Holy crap! I mean, that would be amazing. That's not happening at a private school unless some oil tycoon dies and leaves his fortune. But again, why would they do that? I don't know. It's just I don't need a $150 million school in a private school sector. So I look at it from the lens of like I'm trying to look at it from other people's lenses that are outside of the private sector, and they have no idea what goes on, you know. And
it does feel like the current model. I know this is brand new, but already I'm seeing this doesn't feel like a sustainable thing, even for 2 years.
I hope not.
To me.
I hope not. You know, the thing that I look at is you look at the small, and these are old numbers. I don't know what's changed, but you look at the smallest school in 1A public school, and look at the largest school in 1A public school. When I saw the numbers, the largest 1A public school was 3 times larger than the smallest 1A public school. How is that fair? When you pull all those private schools out, you drop all these people down. So how do those public schools have a shot? They don't. And so anyway, I've heard stories like that from friends in the public sector. I know in the private sector, I mean, it's tough. You know, the money on travel that you have to spend. Schools like Briarwood, McGill-Tulane, John Carroll that are used to playing a certain level of competition are now not playing that competition. Their clientele may be upset about that. Like, hey, did we sign up for this? So, I mean, it threw a big monkey wrench in it. There are families and players that are concerned about having to play bigger schools that we don't normally play.
Rightfully so.
And that's a concern. I got a son that's a 10th grader. You know, I mean, is he ready to play Briarwood? We're going to get him there. Whether he wants to or not, you know, we're going to get him there. And but I can see that concern. You know, I mean, I purposely, I'm not scheduling Huntsville. I'm not scheduling Grissom. I'm not scheduling Sparkman. I mean, I'm not there. And so to play some teams that are in that stratosphere is pretty daunting, you know, and then you don't really have an option. You just have to do it. And so I really hate that it happened. You know, the private schools have been a part of the HSA since its inception. They've gotten along. I'm sure there are cases of people that have cheated and bent the rules, but I think
public and private.
I think you can say that about both sectors. And we're more connected now than we ever have been, and it's a lot easier to check on all that stuff than we ever have been. And it seems like it would be much easier to police right now than it ever has been. But we pulled the trigger on a plan that separated everybody when I don't feel like we ever pulled the trigger on enacting the previous plan that we had to make sure that people were where they were supposed to be.
And Coach, forgive me, I'm hearing more and more noise about potentially breaking away from the AHSA. Is there any? Are you hearing anything about that?
I've heard it, but like, you know, for a school our size, it's really tough. I mean, like when you look at the average, the biggest schools in the AISA, they're not very big. You know, you know, the AISA director, I believe, said this at one of the private school meetings in Montgomery. That there's a lot of these AHSA private schools that the AISA does not want. They're just too big. Like, you know, Briarwood drops down. The AISA doesn't want them. And so breaking away is difficult. I mean, Coach Forrester at Briarwood said, I mean, they would have to play like a southeastern schedule. They'd have to go to Atlanta and go to Tennessee and Florida to play. Again, who's paying for that? We would not be able to do that. I mean, I don't know what we would do if we broke away. I don't know how it would even work. And then you get into, you know, are you going to be part of the NFHS? Are you going to be under that umbrella of insurance and liability and rules and then how do referees factor into that? You know, we're already short of referees, and all of a sudden you add a new federation, association, and anyway, I think it just tears the game apart when it should be looking for, you know, unity and growth. We're fragmenting, and everything we've complained about. You know, numbers are down in football teams around the country. Referees are down. We hear that every year.
Oh yeah.
And then we're doing something that makes it harder to play and harder to officiate. I don't understand that. you're jacking up the revenue because you give the private schools fewer rounds of the playoffs. So revenue sharing there is going to get really hit hard. You're increasing my in-season spending with travel. It just doesn't make fiscal sense, to be honest with you. So anyway, I don't know. I wish people could see it. What I'm paying my coaches is a far cry from what even public schools in our area are getting paid. And I'm doing everything I can to increase that every year. But I'm not going to attract any coaches from the public sector that are paying into public retirement, public benefits. I don't have it. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield, but it doesn't compare to their Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have the ability to pay into a 503B for their, I think it's 503B or C, whatever it is, for retirement at our school, but it's not like the state retirement, And our school matches our retirement, but it's just a better deal because of the size of the public sector. So trying to pull coaches away is very difficult for me, and then trying to pull a player away is even harder. I mean, kid's got to move, he's got to pay tuition, and I don't have the money to cover either of those. So if he's going to come, he better really want private education, and the family's got to be able to afford it. And I don't have the conscience to go ask families to cover that cost, and our school is not sitting on an endowment that would allow us to cover that cost, or we would have much nicer facilities.
But you're still at a point where you want to be a part of the solution. I mean, 100%. I can hear it in your voice, Coach.
100%. I mean, I have loved playing in the HSA and coaching in the HSA. I've loved the competition. I've loved the coaches that I've met and the rivalries that have been created. One of the biggest compliments I get from my friends that are in the public sector is, hey, we've played against you guys and we've seen your roster. We feel like you all are doing it the right way, and that's why they would want to schedule me if it was a non-region game. And that means a lot to me. I want whatever we do in football to be a positive reflection on Westminster, on my young men. I don't want anyone to say, oh yeah, well they may have won, but it's because they recruited half of North Alabama to get the best players they could get. I don't need that. It's just not what I want. It's not that important to me. And I just want us to be proud of what we're doing, and I want other people to respect what we're doing. And to me, the only way to do that is to do it the right way. Are there people that think differently? I'm sure there are. There's like that in every field. But I'm not trying to say we're perfect and we all have halos on, but there are so many bigger fish to fry than trying to recruit someone else's players. And every time I open AL.com, I see another article about some kid moving to this public school or that public school, and no one's saying anything about it. Or this coach got suspended for whatever reason, and tied to recruiting this or that. It's happening. It's part of the business. We crack down on it. We impose a penalty. Hopefully that deters the next guy from doing it. So the interesting thing is going to be if we split, then that's going to eliminate, that leaves the private schools the ability to make up their own rules. If you want to recruit, if they vote on it and say it's legal, it's going to become the Wild Wild West. If they say we can give
it's working out well in college football.
If they say we can give NIL money to kids in the private sector league, then that's going to murder the public school league. Yeah. If that were to come to that. I don't know. I hate it. I think we had a great system, and like every system, there's going to be some abuse here and there, but you do what you can to stamp it out as it pops up and keep it better. I don't think what we did was best for the kids, in my opinion, and I definitely don't think it was what was best for the sport. Other sports that play area competitions seem to have a little better. Yeah, it's going to hurt them in the playoffs, maybe, but having a 4-team area as opposed to an 8-team region.
Knowing a number of private school head coaches, I feel like character-wise that there is a core good group of football coaches just coaches, period, that we have here in North Alabama.
I agree 100%. And one good thing that's come out of all of this is just me getting to know those guys a little deeper than just you're on my schedule, or you're having meetings with them and hearing their heart behind what they do and why they do it. But anyway, I just feel like the perception is, we're all sitting on $100 million endowments, and we do whatever the hell we want to do, and we write checks and get whatever we want. And I'm like, man, come look at my locker room that floods every time it rains. Look at my shed that I put my stuff in. We're proud of what we have. We take care of what we have. But everything I have is because of a group of parents said we want to make this better, and that means I better take care of it, or they won't come back. I'm the child in that scenario, and they're the parent. If I keep coming back saying my toy's broke, I need another one, they're just going to stop buying me toys. So I've got to take care of it, and I have to be real careful with my asks, because this is their hard-earned money. And of course they want what's best for their child, but that doesn't mean we can always afford what's best for their child. And I'd love to have an indoor practice facility. I'd love to have a team room that I can watch film in. We don't have that. We watch film in the weight room. We try to steal a classroom if we can get one that nobody's in, and watch film at the end of the day, or the lunchroom. We're like nomads. We just go wherever we can, and hey, we're not going to complain. We're going to make it work. Always striving to make it better, but there has to be a feasibility in that. And when I have an adult who has said, I think I'm called to Christian education, and they say no to a bigger paycheck somewhere else, there's a lot of trust involved in that the school is doing everything they can to take care of them. It's hard to develop that trust if you're paying for a lot of athletes' tuitions, and you're building all these big-time facilities and paying your teachers peanuts. So it's a lot you have to balance there, is what I'm saying. And then you have all the parents that have been paying, they're faithful, their kids have been there since kindergarten, they've been paying tuition, and then all of a sudden you recruit a kid over their guy, and their son never gets to play it down, and you brought in the newest guy. Doesn't do a lot for your community, People leave. And so we don't need that, We don't need the people paying the bills to leave. And so, man, I'm proud to coach who I have. I'm thankful for the people I have. To me, that's high school football. That's high school athletics. And I want to win every game. I do. I don't want to have to bend any rules to do it. I got to look at my wife in the eye. I got to go home and be a dad to my kids. And I don't need any reports that daddy's not doing it the right way. And I don't need the kids I coach to have that stigma either.
Because even a whiff of that spreads like wildfire.
It's awful.
I don't have to tell you.
It's awful, man. It's awful. And I'm trying to attract people that want to do it the right way. And if there's a whiff of we're not doing it the right way, I'm going to lose all those people. They're not coming. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. And I don't need any fire. And anyway, our motto is we want to use football to build better men. That means we're taking them from point A to point B. We're building them. I need people to build, and it's not I'm going to recruit better men. I'm going to build better men, and so that's what we want to do.
Thank you so much for the time, Curtis.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.